Hi, Jada.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
I'm just going to turn my camera off until it's ready. I'll see you in a little
All right, that's what I'm doing too.
bit. See ya.
All right, see ya.
Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Lyle.
Good morning.
Hi, Lyle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Michelle?
Excellent. Nice to meet you. I don't
Nice
think
to meet
I've met
you.
you before.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Glad I can make it. I was on the wrong time zone.
Oh, that happens to me frequently.
Does it?
So I'm really excited.
Well, I just made you host.
Perfect. Yay. Hi,
You're
Tracy.
so pretty, Michelle.
What'd you say? Oh, thank you. I've been in the business for, I think, over 20 years, and I've never in my life, and I bragged about it, never in my life did my own hair, ever. And I did my own money piece the other day. I did
Nice.
good, didn't I?
Cool.
It's like, I'm never doing this again. But I was desperate.
Your hair reminds me of Penny from, what's that, Big Bang Theory?
Oh yeah, it's very dirty right now. Thank you though, appreciate it.
Lyle, what time zone are you on?
I'm on
Are you
Central
in?
Time Zone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd already set everything up, so I was ready to go. Lucky.
Oh, cool.
I've been doing some recording for a training I'm doing for Canva anyway. It's a very in-depth training process.
Cool.
So I'll give you all some snippets today that'll help.
Nice. Okay.
I'm learning stuff, so y'all just let me know whenever you're ready to get started. I know we gotta let people get in for a little bit. People have to wake up and get their coffee.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
a coffee
it's
drinker.
You're not a coffee drinker?
Oh no, you don't want me on coffee. Y'all wouldn't be able to understand me. I'd be going 90 miles an hour.
I always have to have
Your
decaf.
background. Are you at home still, or are you on vacation?
This is my office. I set this up a while back. I just kind of like the little design.
Yeah, I love that.
These little
Maybe
characters back
have
here.
no blue one.
Yeah, I like these little characters because you may not be able to see them, but there's a character over here. It's Lyle the Kindly Viking, and then this is Lyle Crocodile. So it's just kind of fun things I like put behind me.
Cool.
Plus, it shows off the little artsy side of it, the little character here. The little, what do you call those? Little posing mannequin figure. Yeah, you can't see it behind my head, but there's some of my hats. I have a hat collection of probably over 100 hats at this point.
Nice.
I always joke with people and tell them I'm a man of many hats.
Okay, we'll start in about 1 minute or so. We usually just about a minute or so afterwards. And then if they miss anything, then we can just let them know what that was. For anybody that's on here right now, this is a sponsored related class. So this is a little bit different than our paid classes. This particularly is like an intro. And then Lyle will tell you about a very advanced class he has after this too. That's on salontraining.com. But he wants to give you some information, to kind of get you started with Canva, or if you already have been on there. I'm super excited about it. Also, we wanted to let you know these particular ones are recorded. Now, if you do a paid one, they are recorded too, but we do not share those. Any sponsored ones we do because we use these for marketing material. So we'd love to have your camera on. It's very hard as a trainer sometimes to teach to a black screen. It's definitely, you feel like you're just talking to no one. So if you can turn your camera on, great. If you're not ready and your hair's not perfect and you're like, I don't want anybody to see me, I don't care if you put it up to the ceiling or something. It is. Do you agree, Lyle? Like it's hard to talk to a black screen sometimes.
Yeah, it is. I share my screen a lot, so that's okay if they don't turn the camera on. But I like to see camera. I like interaction, so chatting and everything. I'll have a chance for you all to ask questions at the end. I'll go through some specific things, but I think it'll help everybody. Even if you've done Canva before, you're going to pick up some little tips and tricks. Matter of fact, I just learned some this week that Canva released recently as of last week. So you guys are going to get the firsthand training today. That's fun.
Nice. So excited. Okay, and I guess we can go ahead and start. And for the ones that are be jumping on in a little bit, if you see that my camera's off, sometimes I get text messages why this is new. People are just still coming onto these classes. Then I'll have to step away and you keep going.
All right, what I think I'll do is I'll go through some basic stuff, then I'll pause every once in a while. And if we have some questions and everything, I'll pick up the chat. If there's anything specific on the chat, Tracy, do you monitor the chat while you're in there?
Jada does too.
Jada does. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Before I'm going to pull up this thing. Now, this is a true thing that happened this last week. If you're in the world of salons, you may or may not have seen something like this, but I think this is just a good way to start. Let's talk this up. This is an actual picture that I got, and I'm going to increase the size of it a little bit for you. This came across mine. This is a lady friend of mine, and she says, so y'all know that I know it's not challenging to find a stylist who's reliable, not arrogant or mean or flaky. Recommendations, please. What would you do if that came across one of the feeds of one of your friends? Wouldn't that throw you off? I think that would make me feel, I don't know, embarrassed almost. And so I would want to show them that I'm not flaky, that I'm not arrogant, that I'm not mean. And the reason I'm sharing this is because out there's a perception sometimes people have in their minds. And you as salon stylists, you want to go above that perception. You want to increase your brand to where your brand discounts all this stuff. If you get up there and you're trying to be all snooty, I'm not saying anybody here is doing that, so please don't think that way. But if what you're presenting doesn't say, I'm a friendly person, come and be invited to my salon, you got to kind of open that up a little bit. So this one person shared that little information. I want to share that to you because sometimes we get in our bubbles and we only see what we think we see, and we think everybody loves us because they come into our salon. But I want you thinking, what about those people who are not coming in your salon? Why aren't they coming in your salon? What is that perception they have about your salon? And how can you elevate your brand to a level that you can attach those people and bring them into you, to attract them to you? And so as we talk through the training, I'm going to go through how we use Canva real quickly, just some basic stuff. But I also wanted to kind of point these out because it's big to understand your brand. What does your brand represent? Does your brand represent friendliness? Does your brand represent that boutique feel? Does your brand represent a higher something or a lower something? You gotta look at that. And sometimes somebody outside of your world has to look at your Instagram feed, your Facebook feed, your coupons, and everything that you're putting out in the world to show them that what you're doing is something special. You want to bring people in, you want to make people beautiful. And my goal is to help you understand that you got to make your brand just as beautiful as you make people look beautiful. So let's start with this, and I'm going to delete this. I just wanted to show that for you guys real quick because it's a real life person. This happened last week, June 16th. You see the date there, but I really wanted to see that. Want you to see that because it's a powerful thing. Let's go back to the beginning here. And when you go into Canva, if you've never been in here before, you're going to come to this home page on Canva, and this is where you get started. Most of the time, I suggest people go into this right here. It says Instagram posts, and you see if I hover over it, it says 1080 by 1080 px. That's a square image. That's pretty relevant for Facebook, Instagram. You could put it on Twitter and all those kind of things. So that's a good place to start. Of course, you can find different sizes. If you want to do an Instagram story, you can see it over here, and you can search all those kind of things. But today we're just going to focus on an Instagram post, and we're going to talk about 3 specific type of posts that you should be using in your salon. Let's load this up here. Okay, I'm going to walk through these tools right quick for someone who's not familiar with Canva, just so you can see what is capable. This first little bar over here on the left-hand side is called templates. And this is going to load pre-designed styles for you on the left-hand side. You can search those in specific categories. So for you guys, I would do beauty, BEA, helps if I spell things right. Beauty, and you'll find some beauty tips here. It's really neat stuff. Elements. Elements are what you're going to add on top of your design. That's what your designs are built out of. So you may have squares or triangles or circles or fun shapes or fun little flowers or something goes on there. All that is called an element. If you want to upload, you can upload photos. If you've taken photos of people you've styled their hair or photos of your salon and so forth, you can upload those directly. You can also search. If you don't have any current pictures, you can search in here. So let's just do hair, see what pops up. There's always fun pictures of hair. Well, let's put this one on. She's pretty. She's got pretty hair, just for the fun of it. I'm going to scoot her down and see how that blends in really quickly. Super simple. Then you get text. When you add text, there's a lot of different designs you can put in here. You see these here. Even something as simple as this. When you click it on, you see how quickly I've created a template using a single picture and a single text. You can also add audio and videos. We won't be talking about those in this training. You can add a background, but if you're using an image, you don't want to use a background. But let's talk about this real quickly. I'm just going to put the word salon. I'm put the word beauty. Just keep it simple. Now think about the things when you're online, what kind of posts show up? You have engagement posts. Those are posts that ask a question. I always suggest asking a question. So a question you may want to ask is, what is the top hair trends for summer of 2020 or 2020? What year is it? 2021. All right. Now, if you know these already, then you're ahead of the game. But if you don't know these already, then you might want to start doing some research or ask. What is your favorite hairstyle this summer? Ask that of your audience. So I'm going to duplicate this page right quick. This right here duplicates it. And so the next one, I'm going to just ask it directly. What is your favorite hairstyle for summer? Now, the reason this is engaging is because they're going to answer this question for you. We're going to move this down a little bit. And something fun when you add a template on here, see how these are stuck together? The beauty is stuck in here. I'm going to click off to the side and I'm going to ungroup that a bit. And I'm going to delete that part here. And we're just going to ask the question. We're going to scoot this down. We're going to make this as big as we can. What is your favorite hairstyle for summer? Do you think if you put that out there, someone may engage with that? And it may be a hairstyle you hadn't thought of or you'd forgotten about. And it may give you some additional ideas that you have for your salon. And see how simple that is? That's an image that was already selected for me in photos when I put the word hair. And this was a design that was already stated for me in the text. This is an engagement. Now I'm going to duplicate this page again. The reason I'm duplicating them rather than me going out and coming back in, it's quicker for me just to add pages to this. And I'll show you a little bit of fancy trick we're going to do with this in a minute. I'm going to duplicate this page. And now we're going to do a sales pitch. Okay, when you're doing sales, keep in mind when you're on Instagram specifically, you want lots of pretty pictures, lots of pretty pictures. But about every 10 pictures, I want you to post something that brings people, it has a call to action to bring people into your salon. So think about coupons, deals, specials, and everything. And so, but you also want to track it. So I'm going to put mention summer 2021 for 20% off hair color. Something like that, whatever it is that you're going to do for this style. The reason we're doing this is because we want to track it. In order to track it, we have to have some reason or some way for them to say it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually change the color of this. I'm going to highlight it. And the fun things about text is you can change the style over here. You can change the size here and the color here. And I'm going to change it to, let's go with a blue or a red color, maybe even pink. Let's see what looks good there. There we go. There's a good color. See how that's going to stand out? If you're scrolling through social media, wouldn't that summer 2021 stand out to you? It would. It would catch your attention. Then you say 20% off hair color. Where is this place? They're going to want to know. They're going to bring that curiosity. So you're adding curiosity when you post these things. And so the only thing missing on this is your logo. Okay. You want to have some way they know where to go with this. Let me show you a neat little trick that I like to do. This is a trick. I just learned this week. You ready for this? I'm going to hit a simple button. I'm on my design here. I'm going to hit the button that says R. Automatically will put the rectangle in there for me. Isn't that cool? It's an ugly color, but we're going to move it down here. All right. I'm going to move it down here and I'm going to stretch it across the page. And when we do this, we're going to move her up just a little bit. So she's running into this color a little bit here.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but if anybody is have theirs on mute, if you can, just because we're picking up some background noise. Thanks, everybody.
All right, and now we want to add our salon or your website or whatever it is going to be. We can go up here and add the really simple version just by clicking here. I'm dragging that over here. And we're just going to put mysalon.com. And then you can put your address, maybe 123 Main Street, whatever that is. And make sure you tell them what you want them to do. So on this one, I'm going to put visit today. If I was doing a coupon, I would want my coupon to be limited as far as where it goes. One little thing to notice, see how there's a gap between these texts? If you go up here to this button right here, it's spacing, and you can actually push those together just a little bit more. See where that fits in a little bit better? That's kind of a fun thing to do. And you can make this whatever color you want to, and you can change all kinds of things on here. Let's duplicate this again. Now we talked about doing an engagement one. You're asking a question. This one would be called an authoritative one. And this one here, if I did a, what is the top trends for summer? I would pick 3 to 5 images that are the top trends. And I would lay them out just like I'm doing here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can actually lay this out as a Canva, as a carousel, or we can make a video of it. Have you ever made a video with Canva before? Has anybody? Nope. Most people don't know you can do that. So I'm just going to use these 3 right quick. I'm going to show you this before we go to the next step. But just using these 3 things, let's pretend I want to do a video for this. This right here, over here, this button says animate. So I'm gonna go to this first one. I'm gonna click the word animate. And over here, it gives me some specific ways I can animate this. Before I do this, I do want to tell you I'm using the free version of Canva. This is not the paid version. Anybody can use this free version of Canva. It doesn't cost you a penny. Nothing I'm doing here has cost anything, nor will it cost your salon anything. But look at these different styles. Just by clicking over here, see how it kind of floats in a little bit if I put the word breathe. Fade's going to fade them in. Pan is going to move them into the side. Rise brings them from the bottom. Tumble, they're going to flop in from different directions. I call it flopping. Zoom in is kind of a fun, soft way of doing it. This is called photo flow. Pops up there. That's kind of pretty. And this is a photo rise. I think of all these, I like the zoom photo. So I'm going to click that, and that will animate this first picture for me. I can go to this next one. What's your favorite style? And I can do the same thing. I can add that same style or a different style. Go to this bottom one. Now, this bottom one, I'm going to show you something to do here in just a minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one before I finish this. This is very important if you're going to do a video. This one, I'm going to animate it with that same animation. But this bottom one, I'm not going to animate it, because what I want to do is when the video plays, I don't want this one to move because I want them to be able to read everything on it. So I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit longer. So by doing that, if you see this 5 seconds right here, that's how long this specific image is going to stay on the screen. So by doing this, it pops in with this right here, it fades in, and then this will stay an additional 5 seconds. So they have time to write down summer 2021 or whatever your code is, as well as your salon name or your address. All right, so if these 4 slides was my hair trends, this is going to be 20 seconds. See right here, and I'm gonna click play. But before I do, I want to show you this little button right here called audio. We can actually put a soft audio behind it. I'm not talking vocalization. I'm just talking soft music. And let's just kind of pick one. We don't want the video game buster or something like that. This one's called Morning Snowflake. Why not? We're just going to add it in there just so we have something in here. And I'm going to play this. Excuse me a second. Let me see if I hear a little piano playing. Okay. So now watch what happens if I hit this play button. If I hit play here, how cool is that? In 15 minutes, we created a video, which I highly suggest each of you to do this exact video. What are the top hair trends for summer 2021? You can do this today. Find 3 to 5 pictures that you can legally use. So preferably there'll be pictures that you've taken in your salon or pictures that have been released. Don't just copy something out of a magazine, please, please, please. I don't want you to get in trouble, okay? So we want royalty-free images. Now, if you don't have any royalty-free images of your styles, you can't find them. I'm gonna give you a couple of places you can look to start with. One is called Pexels, PEXELS.com. You can go to this page for it's royalty free, meaning you can use it commercially. Because what happens if you use somebody else's picture and it's not released commercially, then you could actually be sued for usage of that image. I know they were sued $800 per usage. So they use it on coupons. So you can imagine how much that can add up real quickly. But here I'm gonna put the word hair. Let's just put hair for fun. Whoops, helps if I spell it right. And you can go through here and find some images that fit the style you do. So maybe you do cropped hair, and let's try the word cropped. and just, you can try hairstyles, but keep in mind, these are put out there very broadly. So these are crop tops. So we're not gonna get to some of that, but you can go through and try to find some styles that represent a style that you're using. If you don't currently have a style, this might be a way to look at it and everything. So here's some people with some beauty stuff happening. You just have to go through and practice and play around with this. Another page to look at is called unsplash.com. Unsplash.com, these are put together by individuals. They put their photos up there, and companies. This one has larger selection sometimes. And so if we put the word hair, let's just put the word summer hair and see what comes up. And I know that in different parts of the country, there is still specific trends in that area, but you can probably find some styles that represent those trends just by looking up something. Apparently summer hair does work. You get little buns and all kinds of fun stuff. And you have to see what fits your salon. There's some really pretty images, and keep in mind, these are royalty free, which means you can use them for your salon. So you can imagine if you get the top hairstyles and you talk about what each one of those things are in just a single sentence, you can create a video you can post online. You can also copy all of those over to a taller video, and you can make it for TikTok or Instagram story or so forth. All that's fun stuff. So those are two little tips you can get where you can get some photos outside of that. Is this making sense? Everybody getting it? Any questions right quick? Yes, Michelle, you're muted. Yeah.
So with, I know when I had my salon, I had photo shoots all the time, had professional photos, and I had somebody on staff that always took photos. So what is the legal and responsible thing when they agreed to it 2-3 years ago? You still have a bunch of photos that you want to use. Is like, what's the legal on that?
Yeah. Let me give you my version, and let me start by saying disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. So my disclaimer is this is my information based on my knowledge. I'm not a lawyer, so talk to your lawyer. But basically, if you have a photo release, your photo release should give you rights to that photo, and that photo rights, unless you're specifically labeled a certain amount of time, you should have full rights. Make sure you have a copy of that in case somebody ever comes back. Let's say that person goes into modeling later on, they're going to try to charge you back. Make sure you have that, a copy of that at all times. You don't have to put attribution rights.
What if there is no paper that was signed? What if it was just one of those things that became a norm in the salon, like with the after pictures?
Okay, if you have a photo shoot, always get a paper.
Okay.
On that, number one. Number two, you should have something when they sign a piece of paper, like when they get their hair styled.
Okay.
Have something signed, and make sure you have a disclaimer at the bottom of that that says something to the effect of, by signing this paper, you're allowing us to utilize photos of your session, da 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 da.
All right.
Get your lawyer to cover that. Have that on your thing, and even if it's electronic, and even if you have a terms and conditions on your page, make sure you include that in there because that's very important. You can, if it's a friend of yours, it's not that big of a deal. If you're going to use it for something like this, if this isn't specifically making money, there's a balance there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
If you're using and you're selling that photo, that's a whole different ballgame. If you're using it to represent your salon, and your salon has those pictures from your salon, you have a little bit of a law credence there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Just as long as there's no money exchanged for that photo purpose.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
You're not selling the actual specific photo. Yes. All right. All right. If there's no more photos, we're going to go into the pizzazz part. Everybody likes pizzazz, right? I know I do. All right. We're going to go over here to our elements. Now, this one, we were able to animate it because the one we created is an animated version. The good thing on animated version, and is over here on our elements, the elements is a second tab over here. I can put the word animated, and you'll find some things pop up here. Note if they have a little crown by them, they're pro versions. You can use them, but you got to pay for them. They may be $1 or $2. If you have the pro version, some of those are free, so you don't have to worry about them. But look down here. Here's a nice little circle one. Well, if I put this circle around this lady's head, and I can make this, we'd want it to be darker, of course, but look at this. If I just put a circle over here and I put the name of my salon over here on this corner, wouldn't that look cool? That would catch your attention. Now this is let me change the photo here for a second, because this is a really white photo. You want something with some colors. Let's do a different one. I need something with some color in it. There's some really fun photos in here, isn't there? I'm just gonna use this one for the fun of it right now, just because it's got some color in it. It's dark colors, but you'll see why in a minute. All right, so see how I'm stretching this out to cover the background? I can adjust it and move it up and down. And if you notice those little pink lines coming up, it shows me when it's in the center. So if I want to make sure something is centered. If I'm changing my color, I need to change the color of my image. Let's delete this one. This is going to have to be white now, or another color, maybe pink even. We're going to scoot it over just a little bit to have it flow in here. All right, let's go back to our elements. Now when we add these colors, look at this right here. If I put these little elements right here on these scissors, that's drawing our attention to a specific location. With a simple little click, we've got an animated things. Don't go overboard. If everything's moving, nobody's going to pay attention to it. So when I'm talking about adding pizzazz, just one specific location, you want to focus their attention. So if I did that, I would probably want to put my salon name right below there so that I catch their attention, mysalon.com. Okay, so now if I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see this picture and I see something moving, I'm going to immediately notice this mysalon.com. I'm going to group that again and get rid of that second one down below here. All right, now I'm going to add another page. And this time we're going to go down to the bottom, and we're going to add one, just a blank page, because we're going to go back to our templates. Remember our templates over here on the left-hand side? I put the word beauty in it. Let's try the word animated. Let's see if we get any of those that are animated for us. I don't see any that are animated. You'll see the animation show up on this side here. I thought I might be lucky to find one that's got both. But let's just put the word animated then. We can make it beauty. You can make anything you want to. So see this one right here has arrows coming through and the picture's coming down. This one's got sparkles behind it. This one's kind of fun, isn't it? Just click on it. That's kind of fun things to have there. Imagine putting a picture in the middle of this. Let's go back to our photos. Let's pick a lady's picture, pretty one. I like this lady. I don't know why. She has fun hair. And here's a fun little thing. See the corners, if you grab the corner, it's going to resize the picture. But if you grab these little things at the side, you're going to crop off a section of it. See those little handles at the side? So see how I'm making that a square picture instead of a rectangle picture? I'm going to delete this. We're going to move her in the middle of all these sparklies. And then we're going to make this Cyber Monday. We're going to put 20% off color. I don't know what specials you're doing right now or anything. I'm just going to put that as just a basic understanding of color. And this is an effect. So let me show you how the effects work on text. This is an intensity. So this one, I can take it and make it really blow up or really soft. I can also do an outline color. That looks really nice. I can do what's called a splice, where it gets another layer on it. An echo that gives you 2 or 3 layers behind it. We can do a shadow. And the fun thing about shadows, you can change the color of the shadow. So I would try to get this pinkish red color here in her hair. And so to do that, you can't use a dropper. You got to kind of visualize. So I'm going to click this plus right here. And I'm going to scoot it over to that pinkish color. And I'm going to adjust it till I see what I think is close to that coloration. Something right about in there. And I can click on it. And now you see behind there the color. I could make it bigger. This is going to make it a little bit bolder. See how that color's coming out? This makes more of it. And so you can see how that brings that color on. If I'm doing 20% off color, I definitely want to show off something with color in it. So that would be something I would want to do. Again, we want to do our salon label. And this is kind of small. I would do it bigger than that. I'm just going to put mysalon.com. And I can increase the size of these. I try to keep it to where you can see the whole image. And I'm going to warn you here, whenever you get really tight in like this and it looks really good to you, always zoom back out, because you got to remember, most people are going to be looking on their phones. And so you want to look at it small as if it's looking on the phone, if it catches your attention. So you see where they put their salon, that's way too small. You're going to have something bigger than that. That's why I was showing you that, because some people get in there and it looks really great up here, but when they make it larger, it doesn't work for them as well. I'm just gonna put my salon.com again, and I'm gonna make this bigger. I'm gonna drag this corner out. And I may not like that font, so I can make it a bolder font by clicking up here. Let's use this Now Bold, a pretty one. And we're gonna make it size. We can make it bigger right here by doing this. And we're gonna scoot our 20% off over. And since this is something we want to stand out, I would increase our contrast, either making it that or make it the pink color, whatever works for your salon, whatever your salon colors are. You can always adjust these to fit your coloration. And we don't need that one right there. So let's put this underneath here and make it a little bit bigger. Hope you don't mind me designing on the fly. I just want to show you how easy it is to use it by working on it real time, rather than having a whole bunch of things pre-designed for you. So if this was on, if that was on Instagram, you would definitely cause attention. So even though I have a bunch of pages here, I can just download this one picture if I want to. Click over here on this left side, or right side, excuse me, download. I'll move this over, excuse me. And right here, I can select which picture. So I'm gonna select just this bottom picture, number 5. And I'm gonna make it an MP4, or that'll make it a video style, or you can go down to the very bottom here and add it as a GIF. A GIF is a picture that's animated. You can't put links on these. It can't link back to your salon or anything like that, because this is just an image, but a GIF image will move and they won't have to click play. A video, when they're going through scroll, they might have to click play on it. But for this one, we're just going to do an MP4 video because it'll look nice, and we're going to download it. And that right there can be used almost as an ad. Keep in mind, if you use these as ads, if you do Facebook ads or Instagram ads, you can only have 25% of the text. So most of it's got to be an image or something else. And if you see here, that's just let me know my download's ready. I'm going to hit L for line. There's a line. I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to flip this one. So whenever I'm trying to figure out what size is 25%, what I like to do personally is I like to just take the whole thing and break it down into quarters. So this is how big of a spot that I can use for text. Does that make sense? If you want to use this and not get flagged from Facebook, if you want to use it for images, for ads, excuse me, that's how much. So as long as this covers up my text, then I'm good to go. If I had text all up here across the top and I had all this filled up with text, we couldn't use it as a Facebook ad or Instagram ad. It'll get flagged automatically because they don't want more than 25% of the image being text. Does that help? Not seeing any comments. Good, we got thumbs up. I like thumbs up. Yay. Yeah, this is much more fun when we're in a room, we can see people. All right, I'm gonna pause right here again. Does anybody have any other questions? It's about 30 minutes in. And at this point, I was gonna take questions and answers. We've kind of showed you how to put animations on your images, how to create a simple video. I gave you an idea for a simple video. We talked about doing an engagement post. Keep in mind, an engagement post is something like this, where it says, what is your favorite style for summer? And everybody should do this one right here. Today, do this one. What is your favorite hairstyle for summer? Get people engaging with you. And then tomorrow, reveal your top 3 or 5 images. And what I would do is, I would say, top 5 hair trends for summer 21. And I would put my salon down here. And keep in mind, if you're a solo person, if you don't have more than one seat at your location, go ahead and put your face on here. There's nothing wrong with putting your face on here because you're branding yourself as well as your salon. So there's no problem with putting a picture of yourself as part of this image. Any questions out there? Is there a chat on here? I forgot to open chat. There's chat. Yay. I see chat. Unsplash. Thank you for putting that in there for everyone. And Pexels was the other one. Did y'all get that? Pexels.com. Pexels.com. Another one I use sometimes is called Pixabay. Pixabay.com. That one tends to be more commercialized. They look more like photos you'd see in a magazine or something like that. Not sure how well they do on hairstyles. I think Pexels or Unsplash would be better for hairstyles personally. That's just my personal opinion. There are hundreds of free sites you can get pictures from, but be careful because a lot of those, some of them have spammy things in them and some of them don't have the right rights, the legal rights. That's why I select these three. Most of these will pull from other sites, but they make sure that you do have that royalty image. Any other questions? Any questions anybody has? Raise your hand, put it in the chat either way.
I just have a statement to go back to real quick. Whenever you guys are talking about getting your clients to sign the release form, one of the things that we did there for a while, we were testing it, was really fun, was we made it almost a contest for them. So we said, you know, get your before and after photos, and then you have a chance to win some products and shampoos and stuff. And that way everybody was okay with it. We just reminded ourselves, okay, get everybody to sign it. It was just a real quick thing. They had to put their name on it, I think email, phone number, and I agreed to have, you know, Cuts and Stuff Salon use my image at any time, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't a real long thing. And then that was great, because then we always had it if they ever gave us any issues, you know, 5 years later or whatever. So
another fun thing you can do if you start doing something like that is you can actually put a monitor in your location and have your Instagram feed going across there. So it's always showing your recent clients.
wait, say that again.
If someone is signed off that they allowed you to use their picture, you can do an Instagram feed, use a specific hashtag for your salon, and you can actually have their pictures scrolling across. You can do an Instagram feed on like your website or something, but have that feed fed directly into a computer monitor that you have somewhere in your location. It could even be a TV that you have a laptop plugged into. It could be super simple, but it's very effective because you can imagine, hey, my picture's up there on the screen. You ought to go look at it. And it allows them to bring their friends in because they're like, oh, I'm on this. I've been highlighted.
Yeah. Will you be teaching that on the next class? That sounds awesome.
That's a whole different process.
Okay.
We get into creative. That's kind of guerrilla marketing. I've suggested a lot of people to do that because it lets people know that they're important. And you can even put a tag across the part. These people are important to us. Again, remember that thing we started out with. And the reason I started out with that is because there's a perception sometimes that high-end salons can be snooty. And you want to pull away from that. And on Instagram, you want to show people that you're friendly, that you're approachable, that you care about the people that come into your salon. It's not about the money, it's about making you look beautiful. And so the styling is about making them look beautiful. If you put your marketing focus on them more than yourself, you're going to have a lot better response on the way you do your advertising and marketing. Does that make sense?
Awesome.
Because a lot of people, that's what I think they do. They look in the mirror and they think about themselves and they're trying to promote themselves so much they forget to bring the value to those people. So what are women looking for right now? They're looking for a pretty hairstyle and how to make their bikini lines look better, right? Let's just be honest. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. So I would be promoting something like that. Here's 6 tips to help you with your hairstyle this summer, or keep your cooler this summer, or if you do bikini lines, if you do any of that kind of stuff. Here's the top 5 nail trends if you do nails at your salon, any of those kind of things. And so anything you can do to show yourself as an authority and help bring value to somebody in your community, it's going to help significantly.
Great. And this can work for so many businesses, not just the hair salon. So I know we're talking today for the hair salon, but even if you have a car dealership or, you know, a dentist office, anything, like the Canva is so amazing. So we thank you so much for sharing this information with us today.
You're certainly welcome. And let me let you know, when we do our live class, I'm going to do a full hour's worth of training. It's going to be more specific. We're going to do actual videos for Instagram. We're going to go through the 3 different styles of engagement: a sales, engagement, and branding. One of the things that we didn't cover today was branding. And all you're going to do is put a picture of you and tell a story, or a picture of one of your customers and tell their story. I came in, my hair was all shaggy. By the time I left, it was beautiful and luxurious, you know, that kind of thing. That's the branding one, is telling a story. So we're going to go in that a little more depth. And we're going to talk about videos a little bit more, how we can do the videos, the different size videos, including doing a promo video for your salon.
That's great.
Lyle, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
I missed the very beginning. Sorry, I was a couple minutes late. This information is life-changing for me, and I'm not in the salon industry. I do ergonomics, and I'm on the salon training site to teach stylists how to use better posture so that they can avoid injuries. Do you do any of this? Like, so I missed your background. Are you just in the salon industry, or do you do marketing? Because I would consider hiring you
Yes, I
to
do
get my
marketing.
business going.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I do marketing. Marketing is my focus. I was telling them on my bio, my first advertisement was for my great aunt. She wanted a coupon for her salon that said $5 off. She wanted a cartoon drawing of Abraham Lincoln. So that's how I got started on it. And was it 3 or 4 summers ago, I did a full-on video diary for a lady who was producing a book for people that have aged out of the industry, for models and stuff that have aged out of the industry. So that was a special thing for me. But I have clients that are museums. I have clients that do generators. I have clients that do all those things. So I'm passionate about bringing value and helping people help the world, basically.
How can I reach you?
Just send an email. You can send it to lyle@dfwtop.com.
DFW?
Yes, designed for winners to optimize profitability. I'll put it in the message if that's okay.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. If anybody wants to send me a message, do you have any questions? Oh, on that note, if you're going to attend the live training and you'd like to send some pictures for me to use in my examples for our live training event, send them to that email address and I can use some of your photos and maybe make a quick photo for you in your salon.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
And when is your classes? When? Can you tell us when that is?
Oh, I'm gonna have to stop sharing my.
I forget. I know it's on
I think
salon
it's
training.
July 12th, I believe. Let me look at my calendar right quick. I meant to look that up, but like I said, I was on the wrong time zone.
That's okay.
Hey, Lyle, I have an amazing social media scheduler and poster that's integrated with Canva. I'm not
Smart.
sure if you are using one or not, but I'd love to introduce it to you.
Okay, sure. Send me information about it. Got about 6 different versions of ones that I use, but I'd like to see what you have.
Sure.
Maybe we'll see something different. Yeah, it's July 12th.
What time?
I've got 10 a.m. my time, which would be 11 a.m.
Okay.
Eastern time.
Okay.
And that would be, what is that, 8 a.m. Pacific time, if I got it
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yes. And so, yeah, if you have any questions that we didn't cover today, or you'd like to see me cover in the next training, please send those to me, because this is something, like I said, I like to do things that bring value to you. And if there's something specifically that would bring more value to you that I hadn't thought of, put it in there.
That would be great. Okay. And if anybody on salontraining.com is here, you can just send us a message too, and we can send it to Lyle. And, a lot of times there's announcements that we can do through here, which we'll do a live video later to show you guys how to do that, to send any of the trainers messages that they can also get. And just to recap something real quick, if you liked today's class, which I loved it, thank you so much, because I am new to Canva and there's so much beautiful things that you showed us. Sign up for his advanced class on the 12th, because we're going to go over so many more things, which is awesome. But also, if you enjoyed having trainers like Lyle, this is only going to be possible if the people that are on here taking these classes share this information. We can't be quiet about this. So we want to make sure everybody on here today, we're going to give you a challenge. If you can please go in and go on to salontraining.com's Facebook page or Facebook group and just say how much you enjoyed today's class and that you thank, for having trainers coming on, because that's how we'll be able to get more classes to you guys, the more people that know it. So thank you so much, Lyle.
Thank you.
All right. If nobody has any questions, I think we'll end this, and we'll see you. I know I'll see you on the 12th, because I'm going to take your class too.
Thanks. I look forward to seeing you.
All right. See ya. Bye.